It's Andre Banks coming today from Banks Credit Chat, discussing two of the worst credit cards you can get, especially if you're looking to rebuild your credit or start your credit from scratch and you haven't had credit before. Those two credit cards are Credit One Bank and Merrick Bank. Now, initially you may be tempted to utilize them because they would be the first cards that you can get. So let me backtrack a little bit and say, if you do apply for these two cards, they're looked at as good starter cards out because they usually work with people who have challenging issues with their credit and say they had a bankruptcy in the past, or you've had some credit issues that this allowed you to not be in the best standing. So Credit One and Merrick Bank are two cards that people go through a lot. The reason why I'm saying they're the worst cards to utilize, especially if you're looking to rebuild your credit, is because of the long-term implications that they provide. And there's a constant fee with them, a constantly yearly fee that usually ranges from, depending on the credit loan limits they provide you, and typically they're pretty low. They're about $2,000 on average for people who have struggling issues with their credit. And their annual fee is $60 regardless. It's always going to be hit. So even when you pay off the balance, you're still going to be hit with that $60 fee. So you're constantly utilizing, and that usually ranges from anywhere from $5 a month. And that's with both credit cards. They're also very limited in terms of increasing your credit limit, even if you show yourself to be trustworthy over time. So that's just a couple of reasons why I would tell anyone to avoid them, especially if they're starting out. There's a number of different credit cards you could utilize, but Credit One and Merrick Bank make it very difficult to you really to achieve higher results in things that you want to continue to improve your credit over going on in the future. Another bad feature about Credit One and Merrick Bank is that their interest rates are extremely high. So you're looking at 24% on average for anyone who have a challenge with their credit. And that doesn't go down even if you improve your credit score and credit rating over time. Another challenge with them, and again, people are very tempted to utilize them because they're easy to apply for and they'll accept you with a low credit limit around $2,000. And I've had a number of times people telling me that they have been doing the right thing for years now and they still haven't increased my limit, or they want to offer me another credit card that has pretty much the same thing. They're just saying it's on a higher balance. Not even a higher balance. It's pretty much another card, but they call it the platinum level, or something to that effect. So, in full disclosure, I tried out for myself, and I witnessed firsthand with Credit One and Merrick Bank and saying that, as you know, once you open these cards up, and especially if you're proving your credit basis, it's very hard to close them out because you don't want to have that have effect on your utilization score. So it sounds a little jumbled up here, but Credit One and Merrick Bank, for the number of reasons that I mentioned, should be avoided at best. Again, you're going to be very tempted to utilize them because especially if you had a credit challenge or a bankruptcy past, because they're easy to provide you credit. The problem is the interest rate. It's very hard for them to increase the credit limit, and those fees, those annual fees, and those other fees that come in, they're just daunting, to say the least. And I'm not just speaking from other people here. I've actually had those cards myself. So I've experienced that. I've had them for at least over a year, and very hard to prove credit. And I have a pretty good credit score and keep myself in good standing in that effect. And I still experience the same aspects where it's very hard to increase the credit limit, and those fees they're just there. So imagine you pay off the zero balance and you see the next month $5 fee because they have an annual fee that's going to constantly be reevaluated every year. Two cards to avoid. There's a number of cards that you can look at that are very good for proving your credit score or getting your credit started from the first time. So just avoid Credit One and Merrick Bank. And if you find yourself in a situation where you have those cards, the best thing to do is over time utilize them for what you can utilize them for. Get yourself with other credit cards that will give you better options and better interest rates as well as better terms, and then hopefully you can close those cards out and cancel them out, which I plan to do as well. And so you but that does have an effect on your utilization score. And depending on where you are in your credit story, you have to be careful of that. So if you find yourself in a bad situation, just know that even if you pay off the balance, you're going to have a $60 fee until you're able to get to yourself. And again, it's not, you can't just pay the $60 fee one time. It's just monthly, so which is just daunting. 2 cards to avoid. I can't stress it enough: Credit One and Merrick Bank. And to my next video on Banks Credit Chat, subscribe. Please leave some comments. Definitely subscribe. Share this video with someone else that may be able to be beneficial for them. And for my next video, I'm out.